Okay, so find the common ratio in the formula for the nth term of the following geometric sequence. So this is basically what we just did, right? These three questions are going to be like what we just did, except we're going to be doing it for geometric versus arithmetic. Okay, and you'll notice the formula is a bit different as well. Okay, no more D, we have R. We're multiplying instead of adding. Okay, we still have the n-1 idea, but it's an exponent rather than a factor. Okay. All right, so find the common ratio. That's where we just take the second term divided by the first term, okay, or you can take the third divided by the second. Either way, you're going to get 2. Okay, so that's our, not D, R. R stands for ratio. Okay, so R equals 2, and then find the formula. So we're using this. A sub n equals A sub 1, which is 3, times R, which is 2, to the n-1. Okay, and I'm going to put a parenthesis around the 2 so that it's clear that the n-1 is just on the 2. Okay? All right, so find the 12th term of the geometric sequence. All right, so we're going to start off the same way. They told us it's geometric, so we don't have to figure it out. So we just take R is going to be 15 divided by 5, which is 3. Using our formula, we need A sub 1. So there's A sub 1, and then we're looking for the 12th term. So our overall formula is A sub n equals 5 times 3 to the n-1, and then since 12 is n, we'll replace n with 12. Okay, so I want y'all to put that in your calculator and get an answer, because I want to check that you are actually inputting correctly. Has everybody had a chance to input? All right, you should have gotten 885,735. So that's 885,735. All right, number 7, the 4th term of the geometric sequence is 125, and the 10th term is 125 divided by 64, or I guess I could say 125 64ths. Find the 14th term. Okay, so this is similar to the last, in the arithmetic term, they wrote the 4th term is instead of A sub 4, and they wrote 10th term instead of A sub 10. But we're looking for the 14th term. Okay, so we set up our formula based on the A sub n equals A sub 1 times R to the n-1. Right now we do not know R, and we do not know A sub 1, but we know that A sub 4 is equal to A sub 1 R to the 4 minus 1, and it is equal to 125. And A sub 10 is equal to A sub 1 R to the 10 minus 1, and it is equal to 125 over 64. Okay, now elimination is a method, will not be very successful on this one because we're multiplying the terms together, not adding and subtracting them. So I would like to suggest that substitution would be the way to go here. They both have A sub 1 in them, right? So if I were to solve one of these for A sub 1, so like on this one, All right, let me write it simpler. A1 r to the third equals 125. Okay. If I were to solve that for a sub 1, I would need to divide by r to the third. So a sub 1 equals 125 over r to the third. Then I could substitute that in here in this equation, right? So I would have 125 over r to the third times r to the ninth equals 125 over 64. Everybody okay with that? Come a little closer. Okay. All right, now, first thing I noticed is this is like r to the ninth over 1, which means I've got like bases on top and bottom, which means I need to subtract their exponents. 9 take away 3 is 6, so I'm going to rewrite this as 125 r to the sixth equals 125 divided by 64. Okay, now I need to get r to the sixth by itself, so I'll divide by that 125. And when I divide this side by 125, right, I'm just going to get 1 on as my numerator. Okay, so I now have r to the sixth equals 1 over 64. Okay, so then comes some algebra 2, right, where we have to take the sixth root of both sides. All right, so we're going to take the sixth root of both sides. I want to grab my calculator, okay, and to put in the sixth root, if you'll notice down here on the side, right next to x squared, there's the little house top, and written above it in yellow, so it's hard to read on the screen, but you should be able to read it on your calculator, is n, a radical symbol, and an x. Okay, so that's what we want to press. Okay, so we're going to do control house top, okay, and it comes up like that, and we'll put in 6 here, and then we have 1 over 64, so I'm going to do control divide, and put in 1, and then 64, and hit enter, and we get 1/2. Okay. Now, if you want to spend your time trying to find the sixth root of a number without your calculator, you're more than welcome to do that, but this will work too. Okay. All right, so that r equals 1/2. So now we can go back up here where we had r to the third and substitute in our 1/2, and we can find out that A1 is actually 1,000. Now that we have those two pieces of information, we have the R value and the A1 value, we can come back and figure out what A sub 14 is, because we know it's going to be A1, which is 1,000, times R, which is 1/2, to the 14 minus 1. Oops, I'm way off the screen. Y'all got to shout. Okay, so let's try that again. A sub 14 is A1, which is 1,000, times R, which is 1/2, to the n minus 1, which is 14 minus 1. And when you put that through your processes, you should get 125 over 1,024, which would be 125 1,024. So I'm going to back out just a little bit. You get a whole shot of what we did there. So part 1 was to find R, part 2 was to find A1, and then finally part 3. Okay, so number 8, the terms between two given terms of a geometric sequence are called geometric means of the given terms. I am betting that most of you took geometry and they talked about geometric means at some point and they gave you this weird little formula, and the only time you used it was when you were trying to find the missing side of a right in right triangles. Yeah, and then they went on, right? I wish I had known when I was teaching geometry what geometric mean actually meant, because it makes that little formula that they gave you in geometry class makes so much more sense, okay? Because a geometric sequence, right, is a ratio, and what they gave you is a proportion, which is two equal ratios. And now I'm seeing where do they come up with these numbers. So to me it makes more sense, but I don't know if we'll go back and reteach geometry or not. Okay, so we're going to start off the same way. We're going to insert 3 geometric means between 5 and 80. And this is our a sub 1, this is our a sub 5, right? Okay. We know from our formula that a sub n is going to equal 5. Do we know what r is? Okay, so we're going to do r to the n minus 1. Okay, so if we have a sub 5 is equal to 80, that will be equal to 5 times r to the 5 minus 1. Which means 80 equals 5r to the 4th. If we divide by 5, r to the 4th equals 16. And then we take the 4th root, and we get that r equals 2. So now that we know what r is, we can find our missing terms because we just start at the beginning and we multiply by 2. And then I usually do a quick check. 40 times 2 does give me 80, so I'm just making sure. Okay. So here are my 3 geometric means